Hello, this is That Talking Podcast. I'm JJ Starr.
And I'm Downtown Andy.
Welcome, welcome. We are here to talk and bring some civil discourse to an otherwise discordant world.
Hey there.
Hi there.
Oh there.
Oh there. Oh, man. It's
been a week.
It's Monday, isn't it?
Well, for us, it's Monday.
It's
for them,
Monday.
For them,
it's currently Tuesday. Monday. When you're hearing this, it's Tuesday. But it's currently Monday. It's President's Day.
God, I fucking hate
President's Day.
I hate it so much. On one of the podcasts I listen to, they always record on Wednesdays, but they always air on Thursday. So the first guy always says, Happy Thursday. And then the second guy always goes, Wednesday for us. Shut up, we know.
I mean, we record whenever the mood takes us, whenever, our fancy gets tickled.
Yeah.
But currently it's Monday, it's President's Day. You didn't have to go to work today.
No, I didn't.
I didn't go to work today either, as it turned out.
And I may call out tomorrow, which if you're listening to this, I may be home.
Do it. Do it.
Listen, everybody else fucking gets away with it. I don't know why I should.
It's nothing to get away with. You have the time, take it.
I need a personal day.
Yeah, seriously. There is such a thing as Mental Health Day. The state of Connecticut does not seem to have a thing about sick days. You can't I wasn't afforded sick leave. I just accrued paid leave. You get sick time, but maybe
with
that's
this particular job.
Yeah, with this particular job. But
it's one of the benefits of being a federal employee.
I did not accrue sick leave. So if I was sick, I just had to take my vacation time. And if I was sick so much that I used up all of my vacation time, any vacation days that I wanted to take in the future were unpaid. I'm like, can I just take unpaid days now?
There is one thing that I've accrued that I didn't tell you about.
What's that?
The rules. You
haven't accrued rules? We fronted them to you. You had them the whole time. Well, for
those only on audio, I'm smiling. Yeah.
Here in the bubble, we do have 3 rules for the sake of civility to keep things in line.
I've got to come up with more, divisive. Not divisive. I can't think. I'm having
decisive.
A brain fog. No.
Derisive. I don't know.
For lack of a better way of saying it, interesting ways of getting to the rules. But
interesting,
anyway,
intriguing, chin scratching, perhaps. But we have 3 rules.
There's an icive word in there somewhere. I just don't know.
Probably. We'll figure it out. But yeah, 3 rules. No judgment, nothing personal. Don't be a dick.
Don't do it.
Don't be a dick.
Okay.
Please. What?
I haven't really dealt with any dicks lately.
You haven't?
Metaphorical or physical?
I have dealt with
I've dealt with my own.
I mean, I've dealt with dicks. The one at least.
What are you talking about? What dick? Which dick? Who was a dick to you?
We're gonna move past this. But yeah. What do you want to talk about?
What do you want to talk about? Do you want to talk about something?
No, I asked you what you wanted to talk about. I said, do you have something to talk about? And you said, yeah.
So earlier this week, I set a reminder in my phone so I wouldn't forget. There was something that I wanted to talk about. We could probably dip into that at some point.
Okay.
We shouldn't make the whole episode about it because you could probably squash this in all 5 minutes.
Try me. All right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm limber. I'm loose.
You want to make a whole episode? Okay.
No. What do you got? Let's see how fast I can quash.
So I can tie the 2 of them together.
Ooh.
Okay. And Nick, we know you're listening in your sweet new rental car, so crank that stereo.
Are we talking about Nick?
No. Well, we are now.
I'm like, is that what you wanted to talk about?
No. He doesn't pay us enough to talk about him.
No.
But anyway, I was thinking how maybe we've tackled this before, but thinking how important it is for breaks, taking breaks from things, taking some time to just kind of remove yourself from certain things.
We did a whole episode about it last month.
Last month?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think so.
See,
I think it was 2 months ago.
I think it was 2 years ago.
No, it wasn't.
We've done so much in the last 2 years that it's kind of hard to, I tell you all the time, everything is just blending together. Don't ask me what I got you for your birthday 2, 3, 4 years ago because...
Oh, I don't remember either, so it's all right. So what about taking breaks?
Taking breaks. I have actually... So even though throughout this week I've kind of gone through my normal podcast listening, it's kind of just been background noise. I haven't really paid too much attention to it.
Okay.
Because I said, I need a break from the political podcast. I need to put on some music. I need to put on some leisure stuff. I need to get my head out of the world of everyday, gloom and doom.
Right. Usually when you talk about taking a break, that's exactly what you're talking about.
Right, because I'm just so fucking fed up and sick of all the Minneapolis stuff and the presidential stuff and the rich people stuff and the protests and all the stuff that the Epstein stuff, everything that's in the news that everyone's bitching and moaning about. I'm just tired of hearing about. I'm tired of watching people. We talked about this last week or the week before. People going on Facebook and just ad nauseum, just going back and forth in each other's comment feeds.
So what about it?
I took a break. I took a break. So, like, as I was saying, even though I still put political podcasts on throughout the week, I couldn't name you anything that anybody talked about. Like, I just did it out of
just
habit.
In one ear, out the other.
Out the other. It was just background noise. It was kind of nice. It was kind of nice to not be hyper focused on the daily and to put more attention towards what's really important, and that's things we do here, things in our personal lives. We had Valentine's Day this past weekend. We had a really nice date. I planned out something nice for you weeks in advance.
Yeah.
We spent a nice day today. We had another 3-day weekend. So things have been good. And that's, I think I wanted to talk about this because of the fact that I know so many people who are either afraid to take breaks, don't know how to take breaks. I know so many people who just allow themselves to get to the point I normally get to, where they just stress themselves out because of all that's going on in their lives, and they don't really know how to put a pin in certain things.
Okay.
Like a lot of stuff that I do is voluntary. Like if I want to take a break from something, like anytime I tried to quit smoking, for example, and Nick, no, this is not a jab at you. Every time I tried to quit smoking, I said, okay, I'm going to try it this time. Okay. I'm going to just get toothpicks, get pretzels, get whatever it takes, gum, for me to not buy a pack of cigarettes and not habitually smoke at all those same daily spots or times of the day that I normally would. And so that would usually last for quite a while until something stressed me out and it's like, okay, now I need a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But the beginning of it was a conscious decision that I had made. It's like, okay, it's not good for me. I know this. It's not going to lead to anything good. So I need to make the decision to be like, okay, I'm taking a break. I'm going to stop this for a little while and see how long I can go. The last break that I took was over 3 years ago.
From smoking.
Yeah. And then, it bleeds into other things. Like, I don't really drink all that much anymore. I had one drink at dinner on Saturday, what else was I, the taking a break from politics. I'm listening to more leisurely podcasts. I'm listening to my music again, which is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
I took a long break from listening to my favorite music because, as I'm sure I've said in other podcasts, that I'd listened to my favorite bands so much that I just got sick of them. And now I'm at a point where it's like, I can listen to my favorite music again, and it's kind of like listening to it for the first time.
So what about taking a break? You are taking a break? Is that...
No.
Where's this go?
This is going... My advice to people in general is if you take frequent breaks from things, it allows you... It's like a palate cleanser. It allows you to come back to it at any point, and it won't overwhelm you, because everybody nowadays, because of social media and the constant bombardment of information and, people not making enough money, not being able to get by, this is a million, I could go on and on. Everyone seems to get overwhelmed at everything now. And I think breaks are important, and I think you'll concur, because it allows you to recharge.
Yes.
Now, where do you want to go with this?
I personally cannot really think of anything that I need to take a break from.
Well, we heard somebody say this weekend, give up worrying for a certain period of time.
Lent is coming up, and the idea was, what is the name of a book, right? Give up worry for Lent or something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. But that's just it, is that, there are things that, I recognize that it's like, I shouldn't do that. Like, I should stop that, or I should change that habit and stuff like that. But I can't think of anything that I would take a break from.
Do you think that as soon as we finish recording, something's going to come to mind?
I don't know. Because very little, honestly, like, you've seen me get overwhelmed by things. You've seen
myself get overwhelmed.
I've seen you get overwhelmed plenty, yeah. But like, you've seen me get overwhelmed by things, and it doesn't last. I don't know what all, like, I feel like I don't really put a pin in something because I need a break from it, you know? So I'm sort of on the outside looking in on that.
Like, I had 2 instances this week at work where, you know, it was kind of like looking at a former version of myself, because I had 2 conversations with 2 coworkers who were at each other's throats one day over the dumbest shit. And I said to both of them separately, I'm like, just walk away. Just let it go. It's not worth it. You know, you're going to forget about this by next week. Like, just, you know, and that's the kind of talk that people would have had to have with me in a past life. So I kind of felt like the old man in the situation where I'm, even though one of them is actually older than me, but I'm talking to both. I'm like, you know, I actually had to raise my voice because they looked like they were about to throw fists. And so, again, over something so incredibly stupid, I'm like, listen, and I said this to both of them, next time that other one gets on your nerves, just walk away. Be the bigger person. Walk away. It's not worth it.
You say people are about to throw hands over the stupidest thing, and all I'm imagining is that episode of The Simpsons where Barney gets into a bar fight with Wade Boggs over who was the greatest British Prime Minister of all time. Okay, Boggs, you asked for it. Like, that's all I'm imagining right now. Pitt the Elder.
But it's just like, you know, and I go around saying this in the office all the time. It's just like, I signed up for this, okay? I know what about my job stresses me out. And I know that whether I like it or not, some things I have no control over. They're just going to be there. They're just going to happen. Okay?
Stresses.
Like Mondays, for example. Like, I don't, people, you know, get so stressed out about Monday because it's the heaviest day of the week. And it's like, I look forward to Mondays. I look forward because Monday keeps me out there all day. It gives me work. It doesn't allow for me to get done early, you know? And it's like, okay, because once Monday's over, it's like the rest of the week is smooth sailing. But everybody's always bitching and moaning about Mondays or things like that, or, you know, people's bad habits that inconvenience everybody. I'm like, listen, you signed up for this shit, okay? This is your job. This is what you do every single day, 5 days a week, you know, all 52 weeks out of the year. Like, you made this choice.
I want to take it away from work for a second. Okay. Now, you mention, as we have done previously, you've mentioned that, like, you know, needing a break, needing to sort of remove yourself from something for a period of time to recharge, readjust, reflect, whatever it is, right? So let me ask you this.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. When does that, right, that awareness that I need to step away from this for a second to sort of reset, when does that awareness start to develop into a habit of simply not allowing yourself to immerse so deeply in something that upsets you? Like, think about that.
Like a fight or flight?
No, not really. Sort of like, you know, it's like if you have a habit of listening to things that upset you, like I do. Like you do. Like my ex used to watch the news 24/7, MSNBC, whatever it was.
You gotta type.
It was whatever it was. That's what was on the TV while he was working from home or playing video games or whatever. The TV always had the news going. Okay. And it would upset him, obviously. Okay. So this is what he always did. So I started suggesting, why don't you try putting something else on? Or perhaps turning it off.
It's like a drug.
But
it's like social media. It's like a drug.
But that's just it. Is to say, like, you know, if you get upset about social media, for example, like, oh God, it's full of stupid stuff. It's full of AI. It's full of blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, so don't go on it so much. It's like, not that you need to stop, like, you know, take a break from it necessarily. It's like, simply adjust your habits And then maybe over time, it won't bother you so much to be on it.
Feel free to disagree with me. I feel
Done. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
bad
so
joke.
much for
Bad
not interrupting
dates.
each other.
Bad joke.
Bad dates. I feel like complacency is like the worst addiction of all. I feel like everybody nowadays has grown complacent because of the fact that everything we have acted in the interests of convenience for so long. We have so many tools at our disposal that do so many things for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like why wash dishes when we have a washing machine?
A dishwasher.
Sure. Why, go on the desktop computer when you have a smartphone in your pocket? Why read a newspaper when you have, a news app? Why, we have acted in the interest of convenience for there's that clip from whatever show that was. I want to figure out what show that is at some point. It's like in an old Western town. They're walking down the street and a guy's trying to sell these people a refrigerator. These people look like they're basically from a rural farm, and they're like, what would I need that for?
Yeah.
Or he's trying to sell them a washing machine. What would I need that for? Then we're not working, well, how would I afford this? And he's like, oh, it's on credit. It's like, well, then we're not working for ourselves. We're working for you, which is kind of true.
Yeah.
It's just like, because before we had all these modern conveniences, what did we do? We manually did everything.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's become super easy to allow ourselves to be complacent, like, oh, I can put that off until later, or oh, I don't have to do this right now, or oh, I don't feel like it, whatever. Like because our comfort seems to take precedent over everything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, it's so easy to say like, yeah, it'll get done, but later, like every week when we do the podcast, some Sundays we're just not feeling it. So sometimes we put it off for Monday.
Mm-hmm.
There have even been a couple of occasions where Monday we weren't feeling it. We're like, oh, we'll do it super early Tuesday morning, or we'll do it Tuesday morning. We'll just put it out later.
Yeah. We try not to because we love you.
Like Saturday afternoon, I'm sitting, got to be close to noon, and I'm sitting in my chair and I'm playing a game on the phone. And you're like, are you going to do any work? Like, meaning, music related. I was like, yeah, I'll get to it. And I'm like, okay, I need to put the phone down. As much, comfort as I'm in and fun that I'm having, like I do want to get some work done.
Right.
So I do need to make the choice to put this down and get to the computer and start, writing and recording.
Now, sidebar, I did not do that with any intention of being a nag. I asked you if you needed me to force you to do these things.
I was not implying.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I'm absolving you of any nagness.
Thank you, nagness.
Maris?
Like,
do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you have a different take?
I'm
asking your opinion.
Okay. So I agree that I don't think it's complacency as much as it is the convenience aspect of it. I think convenience is definitely
leading to it, though, isn't it? I mean, it makes it an easier decision to make. It's like, oh, I don't have to do this right now. I can continue to sit in my chair in my pajamas and be comfortable.
But that's just it, is that I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because to me, like I've said, the only deadline is death.
Right. But again, if there's things that you want to be done, but you're putting them off for the sake of comfort, it's just like, okay, well then eventually that is going to cause a chain reaction that will affect everything in that line.
Yeah, but is that necessarily a tragedy?
It depends on what you're trying to accomplish, really.
Exactly. But in that case, if you were to postpone for the sake of comfort, I'm going to put that in air quotes because it's teetering.
I'll give you a really bad example. Me being a student, okay, and putting off major work until the very last minute. Now, if I put off a major paper or assignment or whatever to the last minute, that means that by the time I decide to actually start doing it, I'm rushing. It's not going to be as well thought out or well done, and my grade is going to suffer.
Okay.
Now, that's just a basic example, but that could be translated into every facet of life.
Okay. I'm going to put this, and this is not personal, okay? you and I have run businesses that require us to put together packages and orders for people. People place their orders. We put them together. We have to send them out. There are deadlines for these things. I have a tendency to take my time and not wait until the last minute as much as I have a deadline for when this needs to get done, and it will get done by that deadline. You, on the other hand, take the opposite approach where you're just like, I need to do this first thing in the morning so that it goes out immediately.
Well, that's not exactly my take. It's just that, I see myself as, I'm naturally up at a certain hour and I have X amount of time between when I need to start getting ready for work. So rather than just lounge around doing nothing, I might as well be,
be productive.
Thank you.
But I'm not, okay, so regardless of the specifics, though.
I think the specifics matter.
It's not a personal attack. It's an example.
I'm not thinking that it's a personal attack. I'm just saying that is my reasoning.
Okay, so hypothetically, a person with the same kind of reasoning might think more along the lines of that they want to do this as soon as possible, get it done. Okay? I am not a person like me who will just sort of, leisurely get it done and it gets done on time. Like this whole idea of, if you're on time, you're late. If you're early, you're on time. And if you're on time, you're late. It is a perspective, but it's sort of the same.
You think it's the standard?
It's in the same vein as what we're talking about. That this idea that, this idea of complacency sort of allowing for the timeline to get skewed, like, that it pushes things back and everything. It's like, it doesn't have to. But if it does, it doesn't have to be a tragedy.
No, you're right. It doesn't. But, again, it's
like, I don't think comfort is a problem.
Listen, we started talking about this within the first couple of episodes. And, if I've learned nothing else from you, it's that, okay, yeah, things don't need to be done right now, as long as they get done.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about developing habits. Like part of the reason, I'll get to that. Part of the reason why, like, I pay bills when I do is because the first salaried job that I ever had, we didn't get paid bi-weekly. We got paid twice a month. It was on the 1st and the 15th. So you're getting 2 paychecks for your whole monthly salary.
I know, I've been there.
And that was new for me at the time. So it's like, okay, so now I have to schedule my bill payments, around when these arrive. And that was 12 years ago, 13 years ago. So it's like, okay, I'm paying, these bills are due on like the 5th, 6th, and 7th of the month. So the paycheck from the 1st is going towards those. And then these bills are due on the 23rd and beyond. So the one from the 15th is going for that. And that became my routine. So to make sure that, I wasn't getting charged interest and that bills were paid on time, I designated those checks and I made sure that, I didn't overspend. So that way I had enough money from each paycheck to cover the bills that were within that time window. But it took some getting used to. What I was going to say about earlier is I was telling you in the car that in order to develop a habit, and I just heard this, I don't remember where it came from, but I heard that you have to do it 20 times. Okay. In order to make it a habit, where you just do it naturally, you've got to do it 20 times. 20 times is, whatever this person
seems arbitrary.
Well, I mean, maybe it works for some people, like, what were you saying about your bra? You were just saying, like, if you come home and take off
you
your
said
bra.
You have to do it 20 times in a row is what you said.
I may have misspoke.
So I was like, so if I develop the habit of taking my bra off first thing when I get home, like, do you mean that I take my bra off 20 times when I come home? Or do you mean that I take my bra off 20 times after 20 times when I come home? Like, I was confused by what you meant by that. But like, let's take this for example, okay? I do work every day, and I do several hours of work. I do. Remarkable. I know. But I do work every day. I require daylight for it. when I get up in the morning, I get up, I feed the dog, I make a cup of coffee. And then after I kiss you goodbye.
You're just giving everybody the itinerary now, aren't you?
After I kiss you goodbye, I go upstairs with my coffee and my dog.
And you put on It.
No, I don't. No, I don't.
That's not what you told me a couple hours ago.
It is actually. That's not what I said.
No, you said you haven't finished it in 5 months.
And I said that I usually start it after you leave for a break, from a break.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Not when you leave first thing in the morning.
Continue.
I will go upstairs and I will read for like an hour. I will read one of the, few books that I'm reading and everything. I will read for maybe like an hour while I wake up, while I while I refresh for the day, and while the light moves to where it needs to be. Now, could I change that habit? Yeah. But what good would it do me? Okay. Now, wait a minute.
I didn't say anything.
So the reason why I do this is so that I sort of, I am ready to begin my workday. Okay. I remember, because it wasn't that long ago, where I woke up, I got up, I immediately went in the shower. And from the shower got dressed, and from getting dressed got packed, and from getting packed got in my car, got a cup of coffee, went to work, worked all day. Okay? You don't give your body the opportunity to get into the day. When you wake up at dawn and you come down here, you make a cup of coffee and you sit in your chair and you thumb through social media, maybe you play a game, you do something like that.
Together.
Exactly. But that's just it, is you're not rushing into your day. When you do that, your stress level starts high. It's like waking up to an alarm and immediately having an anxiety attack.
Well, that's because that's where I'm personally at right now. Like, I've lived that life where it's your alarm goes off, you get up and it's like, oh shit, I've got to get moving.
Right. But that's just it, is that you are starting the day tense. Whereas if you give yourself the opportunity to relax in that comfort zone that you've chiseled out for yourself, regardless of what it is, okay, you are allowing yourself to, now you're ready. Now you've woken up. Your body is now alert. It's not panicking. It's simply alert. And now you can actually be more productive because you're not already stressed.
Well, I'm not really calling that into question because, as evidenced by what you just said, my morning routine consists of giving myself time to do things before I start my day. That's not what this was about.
Oh, no, I'm not suggesting. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm not suggesting that you do the opposite of what I do. I'm trying to talk about what you were talking about with, this idea of complacency.
Well, I mean, in regards to a morning ritual, like I don't think, complacency is one has nothing to do with the other. Okay. What I'm getting at is, there is a lot of time that could be spent being productive, but I feel like so many people find it much easier to be more complacent now than, say, before we had access to smartphones and things like that.
But what if taking more time for comfort allows you to be more productive with the time you choose to designate to being productive?
That's really going to come down to the individual, I would think.
Well, obviously, as most things do.
I don't think that could be applied across the board.
Well, I mean, yeah, that can be said of anything. For example, it takes you 20 times to form a habit. Like some people, it could take 5.
I used to always feel pressured to rush at my job. And then eventually, once I got into the routine, it's like, okay, now I can take my time, and I can reiterate that to new people because it's just like, this isn't a race. If you slow down and you really pay attention, it'll come easier. You'll get faster at it because, you won't be inclined to make mistakes. Like, a lot of our younger, newer people make a lot of mistakes because they're rushing, because they want to, get done.
Like, I've had to tell people that when I was working at the dispensary, was that the fact of the matter is that on a day when you receive $30,000 worth of product that you need to process, you know that that's not going to take that much time. But if the next day you get $80,000 worth of product to process, it's like the fact of the matter is that it's going to take longer. Yes, it's going to get done. But it's like you don't have to kill yourself and overwhelm yourself with this, trying desperately to get it done in the same amount of time. No one is expecting you to get 3 times the amount of work done in the same amount of time. No one is expecting that. So, but to innately feel that pressure, I think that is more a problem than people taking their time.
But speaking from experience though, like I know that I've fallen into the trap of, allowing complacency to take hold because it's like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up just yet. Like, how many times do we sit here having breakfast in the morning while I'm on my break? I'm like, I don't want to go out to the road because I don't like doing this. It's not fun. It's not new. It's not interesting anymore, but I have to do it because it's how we afford to live here. Like, it's.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop you from going to work.
It doesn't stop me, but But circling back to taking breaks.
Let's circle back to taking breaks because we went askew.
Well, the main reason for this topic of conversation is that people have a lot of stressors in their life, and
yes.
It's not everybody is equipped to handle them appropriately. Not everybody's equipped to react in a constructive manner.
Do you think it's necessary for people to be stressed?
I think some people should be, and then others maybe less.
Like, who do you think should, like, what is an example of something that you think that people should not stress about? That they should not stress about. It's not worth stressing about.
I mean,
is there anything
that people shouldn't stress? There's a lot of things that people shouldn't stress about, but they're going to no matter what.
But what is, like, let's Dear Abby this. Dear Abby, I'm stressed.
Dear Andy,
I'm stressed. For example, I am just going to pick out of a hat.
I've got one for you.
Oh, you do? Go for it.
They're relationships, for one.
They're relationships. Like, you don't think it's worth stressing about.
I've said, okay, so I have stressed out about plenty of relationships. Mm-hmm. But I've said to you since we first started dating that I've never worried about us. I don't know. I mean, I can, imagine what I would say it is, but, I have been worried based on previous behavior. Like, exes have said or done certain things in our relationships that have irked me and constantly just eaten away at me and been like, do I have to worry about that happening again, or them saying that, or them, flying off the handle, or whatever it is. I've never had to worry about that with you. And that, every day tells me that we were right for each other.
Now, in that same vein, I will say I agree, and not just for the reasons that you stated, but they're lovely. Thank you.
No, like speaking seriously, it has been such a relaxing comfort to me to not have to worry. And then, like, you and I don't get along all the time. Like, we have disagreement. We've had plenty of disagreements here on this podcast, but it's never made me worry that, like, oh, is she gonna leave me? Like, or is she, gonna do something to irk me, or is, like, that's never come across my mind. I don't think it ever will.
When it comes to relationships, and not just you and me, but all y'all out there, I think the standard idea when it comes to relationships, and I think the reason why people do stress about their relationships and even potential relationships is this whole idea that you have to make it work. You have to do the work. Marriage is a lot of work, and it's just,
and it's really easy work.
It doesn't have to be work, is the thing. To me, if you are so stressed about making a relationship work, that it's like, that should be a solid red flag right there, that this is probably not a good relationship for you. Personal relationships should not be a source of stress. No. Period. I absolutely believe that. Now, are there stressful moments? Absolutely. But should you be worried about your relationship?
You know,
no.
something you and I were talking about earlier was projection. You know, like
Yes.
people way more than you and me tend to project, you know, their feelings on other people because they are inclined to believe things that aren't true or that are just distorted.
Yeah.
And so you want to take a break from something? Take a break from that, because I guarantee, and speaking from experience, I guarantee that a lot of things that you may believe about another person, probably not true.
I think that sort of speaks to the very nature of being comfortable in your own skin and everything, is that you can find yourselves in situations, you, the royal you, can find yourselves in these situations where you are uncomfortable because it is not something you're used to. For example, being in a healthy, happy, symbiotic relationship with somebody. Just for example.
That's a Spider-Man word.
People run away from good relationships
They do?
because they're so used to being in bad ones that they cannot be comfortable in a good relationship, and more often than not, they will self-sabotage.
There were moments in the beginning where I was just kind of like, all right, when is the curtain going to drop?
Yeah, when is the other shoe going to drop, right? Yeah. Yeah, and I think that people are used to that, and I think it's waiting for that other shoe to drop because they're so convinced it will. That is causing that stress, and it's disallowing.
Disavowing?
No, not disavowing. Disallowing.
Some-
not allowing. Not allowing.
Somebody call
someone-
Merriam-Webster for us.
It's not allowing people to be complacent, because I think that you know, complacency versus the constant stress that you're so used to being under, that you're told maybe that you should be under in situations, you know, your relationship, your job, your financial situation. It should all be worrying you. Nothing should be easy. I think it's so drilled into people at that point that they think that if they feel that if they catch themselves feeling complacent in any of those situations, that something's gonna happen. The lightning's gonna strike, bad news is gonna come down, and it's just gonna all blow up in their face. And I think that stress will actually, it's like an adrenaline crash almost. And I think that that's when people really sink into those comfort holes where they don't want to get up. They don't want to do anything. They put off and push back
like people
everything.
who don't want to get out of bad relationships because they're used to what they're in.
Because they don't want to start over. It's like, so you'd
don't
rather
want to rock the boat.
So you'd rather be miserable for the rest of your life? You'd rather, like, you know, you'd rather put off the inevitable for long enough until maybe it's no longer inevitable.
I've had that conversation with a lot of my friends as of late who've had, you know, relationship troubles or job troubles or whatever it is. It's like, you know, once the storm has been weathered, I've gone to them and been like, you won. Yeah. You won. You are now out of a bad situation. You don't ever have to deal with that ever again. Like, you won.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but it, you know, I guarantee they don't see it that way because it's just like, oh, my life has been altered now. And it's like, your life has been altered for the better. You don't have the constant source of stress just, you know, hovering over you anymore.
Yeah. I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand what.
Like, ripping off a Band-Aid is always the hardest part.
Yes. And I think that's, you know, that's just it, is that people don't want to. They don't want to because it's hard, I guess.
Well, because again, you get used to the way certain things in your life are.
It's uncomfortable.
You can't possibly imagine, you know, like what life looks like in any other form. So you stick to what you know because it's predictable.
It's comfortable.
It's predictable.
Yeah.
You know, you can predict what tomorrow is going to look like and the day after that, until something beyond your control pulls the rug out from under you. And then it's like, okay, well, now you have to adapt or you're fucked. And
now you've developed an anxiety disorder surrounding this idea that you don't, you know, that, you know, you don't want to be in a situation where you don't know what's going to happen.
It's funny. This is not what I anticipated our topic being.
Yeah, this went.
But the funny thing is that we've talked about all of this earlier today without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been on the highway in almost 3 years. And that really pissed me off for a long time. But as I said earlier, I've gotten used to it. I've gotten used to the fact that, you know, it's okay. I'm taking a nice long break until I'm ready to get back on, but I'm not going to get back on until I stop seeing people being reckless.
That may never happen.
It may never happen, but you know what? Now I'm okay with it.
And there you go.
So, break acquired.
Yeah.
But
it's no longer a forethought.
No.
Is the thing. And that's what goes back to what I was saying about when does that break from something that stresses you out or makes you uncomfortable, when does that break just sort of melt into being just a habit? You know what I mean? Like, if I were to, you know, for example, you know, if I were to stop.
You trying to think of something you do on a regular basis?
Yeah. Like if I
Eating mints.
Oh, imagine.
Drinking ginger ale.
God, I can't even imagine.
Drinking Diet Dr. Pepper.
Imagine.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But like, yeah, like imagine if, like, you know, I was so nervous about, like, well, what if I need a mint and I don't have them, right? They're in every bag, every coat pocket that I have.
You're like my mother.
Yeah. They're everywhere. Just Starlight mints. If anybody wants to send them, send them.
We'll be a sponsor.
If I didn't have them on me, what would happen if I needed them? If I didn't have a bottle of soda on me, what would happen if I needed it? You know, like, what if I needed to take a pill? You know, like all. You know,
we've had plenty of those instances where it's just like, you know, oh wait, I just ate. I got to take my medicine.
But it's like, what would happen? And when I was younger, I really did panic about those things. I truly did. I used to, when I was in high school, I carried a bottle of ginger ale with me all the time, just in case I needed it.
It's your security blanket.
It was essentially a security blanket. I used to have a Ziploc bag of ginger snaps in my bag. That was in like 2010 was when I went through my ginger snap phase. And then I switched to the mints in like 2018 maybe. Yeah. The ginger ale's always been there though. But, you know, like, it was always, you know, if I left the house and I didn't have anything on me, it's like, oh fuck, now what? And I truly would panic about it. But then it's sort of, you know, it's over time, it became a habit that it's like, listen, if I don't have it, one, I can either go get some. If I'm out somewhere, I can go get some. Or if I don't have it and something happens, then something happens. I won't like it, but you know,
better to have it and not need it.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what. Nah, never mind.
But it's like, but if the point to me is not stressing about it, then if the point to me is to try not to stress about it to the point where the very idea of not having these things on hand makes me uncomfortable, then you have to understand that you have to sort of reach that acceptance stage to me.
Are you comfortable?
But it became a habit that I would just always have them. But now that time has passed and I've sort of reached this point.
Older, wiser.
Yeah. You know, you don't stress about it because you understand that it's going to be fine. You know, if you don't get something done, you know, if you're running late for work, you're still going to get there. Yeah. Like if you get stuck in traffic on the way to work, you're not going to get fired when you get there. You know,
like I'm at a point now where I just don't want to do anything. I want to be comfortable. I want to be complacent. I want to relax. I want to go at my own pace. I want to do things when I want to do it. But at the same time, I understand that there are things that just have to get done.
Sure.
You know, I don't really have that choice to be like, yeah, I can put it off till later. So I force myself, and then things get done. And then, I allow myself to get stressed out because it's like, when am I going to have time to fit in everything else? But, that's what breaks are for. That's what balance is for. See, that's something that I don't think a lot of people really take into consideration, is finding the balance, is taking the time to take a deep breath, just let it out slowly and be like, okay, how do I balance all of not only these things, but these thoughts?
Yeah.
We are ruled by negative thoughts.
Should we do a deep breath now?
Sure.
Everybody do it with us. Ready?
Oh, this is a first.
Ready?
In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Those of you in your cars, ready? In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Now just the single parents in the room. In through the nose.
You're not single?
That was from Pee-wee's HBO special. They were trying to get him off to fly. John B was like, yeah.
Oh, God. But that's just it, is that if you...
Joan!
Even if you force yourself to do something, right? To sort of get your butt out of your comfort zone and get the things done that need to get done. Stress a little bit, right? But what happens when you're done with those things? Do you decompress? Can you decompress at that point?
I mean, I always give myself time to decompress. How many times have I said to you, like, just give me a minute, just walk away, just give me 5 minutes, let me get into my zen.
Do you think other people do? Or do you think they stay up?
I'm sure those with self-awareness will. Like I said, not everyone is equipped because, not everyone is ably prepared to get to that place. Some people have to be shown the way. Some people you have to take by the hand and be like, listen, in order to relax, you need to do X, Y, and Z, or you should do X, Y, and Z. Let me show you some things that may help you. I want
to close this out with an example from my life, from my experience of working music festivals and living in hotel rooms and traveling all the time.
Oh, it's
Ready?
one of those stories.
All right. So anyone who's unaware, I used to work merchandising for music festivals around the country, and we'd be out for a week or so at a time, living in hotel rooms, be doing very long days, probably like 8 a.m. to 1 a.m. sometimes. Some life. And there were rituals that people went through. It was sort of the same ritual that us in the same position, the managers and stuff like that, we all sort of had the same ritual at the quote unquote end of the day, where and we would sort of season them with our own little bits and bobs. But what it came down to was you work, and then you work, and then you work, and you work, and you drink some water, and then you work some more. And then at the end of the day, you go back to your hotel room, you take off all your dirty clothes, you throw them in the dirty clothes bag that goes back in your suitcase.
Or the chair. That's
or you throw them on the back of the chair because you're going to wear them again tomorrow. And you get in the shower and you sit on the floor of the shower.
Oh, I remember this story.
And you turn the water on and you just cry for a while. And it's true. We all did it. Some people didn't sit down, but it was nice to sit down after being on your feet for that long. But it was just a thing. It was how you decompress. And it's not because you're so stressed, you're overwhelmed by it and everything. It's just that you have not stopped for, 16 hours at this point. So it's like...
You mean you didn't take your shoes and socks off and make fists with your toes?
No. Maybe I should try that next time.
That's the secret to air travel.
But it's true. It's not because you're so overwhelmed by what you're doing or because you hate what you're doing or anything. It's because that is how you decompress.
That's one way to do it.
That was one way to do it. That was how we did it.
Did you all do it together in a group?
No, we didn't. We typically, we had our own rooms and everything, so we'd go, but we'd all do it at the same time.
The communal shower and just sit there.
No, imagine we all it's like primal scream therapy in the middle of a communal shower, just But it's true.
Pull back the curtain, Madonna. Is that you?
But that's just it. And once you let it out, it's gone, and it's not in you anymore. And that's that 5-minute break to just be away from everybody, and you take those minutes to yourself to just take that deep breath, whatever it looks like, and just let it go. Because once it's out, it's gone. It's not in you anymore. And you have the opportunity to relax finally.
I do that first thing in the morning because as soon as I walk into the office, before I've even clocked in, I can see what kind of tomfuckery is going to be going about for the day. Who hasn't shown up, how much extra work we all have to do,
I love that.
What?
Tomfuckery.
Sure. And so, I clock in, I go check my truck, and then before I even touch a piece of mail, it's like, okay, I need to go out to the dock because that's the only place I get service. I need to go onto Spotify, and I need to pre-download whatever I'm going to be listening to while I do my job, because I know I don't want to fucking listen to anybody around me. I don't care what they're talking about, whether it's the football game, whether it's, whose truck doesn't have gas in it or whatever it fucking is. Like, I don't want to hear the sounds of anybody's voice. I want to hear my music while I'm standing there for the next 45 minutes, just, doing my thing and on my way out the door.
Yeah.
That is my zen.
Yeah. That's why when I'm working, when I'm painting all day, I will put something on that I can just zone out to.
That is my, what is it?
Your white noise?
Sure. Yeah. I couldn't think of what I was going to say. I'm so focused on putting this all, taking a break from this podcast, putting this all away and making some tea or coffee and getting back in my chair.
Well, it is that time. It's time to put a pin in this and call it for the night. This was a good talk. I think it was a few good talks.
On its way to better things for all of us.
Yeah. I mean, again, out there.
You've said before that, we with a voice you have to, use it powerfully and appropriately and think about, what you're saying and
and we're here to say, deep breath, fist with your toes.
Manuela.
More on that later.
Yeah.
But this was a good talk. Thank you out there in podcast land for tuning in and sticking it out. We had a blast. Please find Love Hard Art. Oh, wait. No, find us first. DT Andy and JJ Star with 2 R's. We're on Instagram. You can email us, dtandyandjjstar@gmail.com with questions, comments, concerns for our well-being, conversation starters and enders. I'm watching you. I got both eyes on you right now.
Private eyes.
But yes, then after that, find Love Hard Art on Instagram and find Love Hard Art in a mere week and a half now from the time.
Mirror. I thought you said find it in a mirror.
No, from find it
in your mirror.
In your mirror, right in your mirror. No, that's on the mirror, not in the mirror. That's the man in the mirror. Yes, we are at the Villain Arts Main Tattoo Festival in Portland, Maine at Thompson's Point, February 27th, 28th, and March 1st. March 1st, again, is Sadie's birthday. Sadie G, our security dog. And she will be there with us all weekend. Come one, come all. All the tips go to her to buy more cookies. And tax collectors and harlots.
Sunday.
This
We
coming
are
Sunday.
at Sugar Hollow Taproom in Danbury, Connecticut. We are on at 5 p.m. playing with Trust Fund Rejects and Nerve Endings. Come one, come all. Meet me for a quesadilla.
That damn quesadilla.
Listen, I haven't had a quesadilla since Christmas.
Yeah.
That was a damn good one.
All right.
I don't know if we'll see. We'll see if Sugar Hollow outdoes it. But you'll have to come to find out.
Yes. Come one, come all. Tell all your friends. Tell all your friends about this podcast. Tell them to download Podbean and give us their likes. We are in, I want to say, 94 countries now, worldwide. Thank you, world.
On the way home today, for those who remember, on my shuffle came the country song from Animaniacs where Yakko's just listing off, rhyming all the names of the countries in the world. And at the end of it, JJ goes, and we are in half of those.
We're in a little bit more than half of them. As he was naming them off, I was trying to pinpoint the ones that we're not in right now. So like Algiers, for example.
Yeah. Are we in
get with it?
Are we in Botswana?
We're not in Botswana.
Nigeria?
We are in Nigeria.
Ooh.
Yes.
Who
Yeah.
the fuck in Nigeria is listening to us?
Listen, we've been getting a lot of downloads in India this week, so thanks, India. Preach. And Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Thank you. But that's that. You got anything else?
Manuela. Till next week.
From
True believers.
From the three of us at That Talking Podcast, I'm JJ Star.
And I'm Downtown Indy.
We'll talk to you later.